So this is my latest little baby. I spent a bit of time doing this body. So you've seen the Mark II Transit body shell, and when I ordered that, I also ordered a Mark 1 Escort van shell. I always wanted a Mark 1 Escort, mainly because I couldn't afford a real one. And I couldn't get a Mark 1 Escort, you know, like a Mexico or anything, but I could get the van. So I ordered it, and when it turned up, it just seemed really small, and I didn't have a car to fit it on. So both of the body shells just sort of sat in the garage there, collected dust for a while, and I was kind of twiddling my thumbs with what to do. And I decided to put the Transit shell on that Firestorm. And then I looked at this one, and I'm thinking, oh, it'd be good to do a little body, a little car, a little road car. So I rang Simon up and I said, Simon, have you got a car that's like small enough to run this body? And he goes, yeah, well, I've got a couple in the box there. I don't think he intended to give it to me, but I just stole it off him anyway.
He was having it.
I was having that.
Yeah.
So I thought, perfect, little donor car. And then so I started picking away with this body, and so I cut out the arches and did all that sort of stuff. And I had to shorten this car, the wheelbase and that on the car, because I think it was 52mm longer than what it actually is. So it lent itself to it perfectly because it was on this little aluminium chassis, which meant that I could just transfer all the holes back, drill them, cut the front off, shorten the little, you know, the tub, the gubbins holder, and make it all fit well. So I went through a process of trimming the body up as you do, and I wanted it to fit the wheels real snug, but in order to get the tyres, the wheels to turn in the arches, everybody knows you end up having to cut a massive arch in the front to accommodate the turning wheels. So I thought, right, I'm going to do a bubble arched sort of racing escort van with the front on it and everything. So yeah, I actually used a bit of like fascia, plastic fascia soffit board, and glued it all together and shaped it all up with a Dremel, and spent ages doing that, and then got them mounted on the body and made all this front wing, and then I was trying to figure out what to do about the paint. So I knew I wanted Shelby stripes. I was going to do black with orange stripes, and then I thought, well, let's make it stand out a bit more. So we went with the orange with the black stripes.
Hi.
Right?
Franken truck drivers here.
Franken truck drivers here.
How do we get rid of this?
Yeah, don't knock that over.
Lee bought you chocolate.
You're live on YouTube. Thanks, Lee.
Live, yeah, we're live on YouTube. There's people watching us.
Hi. Hi, dog.
Thanks, Lee.
Oh yeah, it's for you and Mum to share.
Thank you so much.
Funny. I might put that in just for a laugh.
Do it. Do it.
So, yeah, so I did that, and then it actually kept evolving. I was like, well, I don't want body pins sticking up and all this crap. So I ordered the old magnet body pin things, and they're brilliant. I couldn't believe it. They're good enough that you can pick the car up, and it's quite weighty for a little car. I mean, if you give it a shake, it'll drop out. But yeah, what I really like about it as well, when it does come loose, it automatically finds its position back. So even if I drop it on a bit skew-if, it's there and it's lined up. So
It's done a really good job, hasn't he?
yeah, it's cool. I love it, and it just looks awesome.
So I don't think you've bigged yourself up enough here. So I'm gonna step in. You all need to have a look on the internet at these escort body shells and see the amount of work that this guy has done on these arches. So this was all flat. He's made all of these bubble arches. He really hasn't done himself justice by explaining it. Such a fantastic job. I don't know whether you'll be able to see the shapes of it all properly on the camera, but brilliant job. But the trouble with that now is I've got a list of about 9 things that I needed to make for my corner.
Yeah, well, it took me long enough. I'm a carpenter by trade, and if I clocked up the hours that it took me to do this, bearing in mind it was my first one and I was trying to figure out what and how I was going to do it, the body shell actually cost about 500 quid.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. So really check out these body shells on the internet and see the amount of work he's done, and then of course just send ads a message. He'll put these arches on there for 20 quid for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 20 quid postage. But yeah, no, I mean, we don't actually know what the car is, do we?
No, no idea. It came in a big box of bits. We had some real raggedy old kind of Lambo shell on it. It was so slow. It had an old kind of mechanical ESC on it.
Yeah.
It was run off a servo and a big army movie thing. We put an old Lambo shell on it. We experimented using it as a bit of a camera car.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of footage with it as a camera car, but no idea what it is. If anybody comments on this video and says actually that's from the 1940s and is worth about £90,000, then it's going to get real.
Yeah. Well, it actually, when I was messing around with it, I mean, you got plastic drive gears and all that sort of stuff. It almost strikes me as something that you put together when you subscribe to a magazine.
Yeah.
And you get 3 parts per month, and it takes you 20 years to make it.
It looks like a very simple chassis.
But I'll tell you what, I wasn't really interested in this car being able to go fast, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to lose it. You clip the curb, you smash all the front off, and then it rolls over and then screws up your paint job. So I wasn't really interested in the car being like super fast. It's just really a showcase sort of vehicle, my little test piece as just to have a play around. So it's got the standard motor in it. No idea what the motor is.
No idea how old it is.
I've no idea what the servo is for the front end. I don't really know much about it. But what I did do is I got rid of the mechanical speed controller and ordered a real cheapo electronic one. It's got a little fan on the top. Chucked a little mini 3S lipo in it to try and balance it. It's still a little bit heavy. Well, it's not too bad. Chucked an old radio in it, still on the crystals. It doesn't really bother me. It's just cool to see it moving around. It drives okay. It's nice, and actually, the ABS molded bodies, being a little bit thicker than a Lexan one, and then with my added arches, it's quite a sturdy body, and you can hear that and see that when it's driving, that it doesn't really rattle around. It's quite solid and planted, and it doesn't make any sort of boxy sounds or anything. It's really cool.
And it does look good. We just had to go up and down my hallway and through my kitchen. It just looks really good.
Yeah, it's moving around. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll get a video on this one soon, with it out and about, ripping about, and we'll look forward to that one in the future. But no, I'm dead chuffed with this, and I'm looking forward to doing
my snorkel.
Yes. Like Simon definitely has got a list of things for me to do, but I am going to make my own wheel arches for my Vitera Ascender in the same way. Mainly because I kind of want that, like I say, that sound deadening and that stiffening of the body. I want to sort of build that into my Vitera, because that sounds quite rattly and pangy when you're driving it around.
Yeah.
The knobblies catch the wheel arches and it sort of goes clang clang, but these are a lot, deadens the sound a bit. It's quite cool. So yeah,
very cool.
Chuffed a pitch with that. It's awesome.
And it's important to point out that I just literally have no ability to do stuff like that. It's not because I'm lazy that I have to get ads to do it. I just literally have no ability. I tried once to make a shell out of cardboard, didn't I?
Yeah.
And that did not go well.
Yeah, he actually, ironically, looked rather like a cardboard box by the time he finished it. He could have saved himself the time and effort and just left it as it was, and it would have been alright. But yeah, wheels sit in the arch real nice. These back arches, they're actually solid, though I didn't bother with it. There's just enough suspension room in there for movement. But these ones, they're scalloped out. They're quite thin, so the wheel can move up into the arch if it wants to. Awesome.
Nice.
I might leave the yellow wheels. I think it sort of wants to be looked at, you know. showy.
It does look good. Although I have got some really, really nice silver metallic paint.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.